special thanks to Flo for subscribing to the Patreon. I'm not sure what I did 15 years ago. I'm assuming it was this one. This one. I think I climbed to the top like where the flag is, but this one is not gonna support my weight, unfortunately, because I'm huge. But this one will. So I'll show you one of my moves. This is the Lisa Seducer 69. The first, put your foot like this, stick your ass out, and then you do. That's how you seduce sexy lady. Then you climb the pole.
Monkey.
Like monkey. I have to do one more move, no? Yo! Hope you enjoyed that clip of me trying to reenact my old 12-year-old self. I mean, I don't know exactly when, but it was a while ago. Unfortunately, I don't have the OG clip anymore. It used to be on my YouTube channel. I mean, on another YouTube channel actually. I am trying to do the product placement a bit better. Yeah, let's go. Very nice.
Dit is wel naar gekeken, maar moet wel meer in de camera.
Maybe you just put it down. Actually, yeah. Thank you. I have my personal assistant here. So, thank you Flo for subscribing on the Patreon, which will be covered in this video a little bit later on. That's why I added that clip. I'll be going over the face plan in this video. I will be making two parts, because the previous time that I filmed this, it was a bit too long. We actually lost the first footage of the video due to some SD card malfunction, I don't know. So we lost that footage, but that's not really a big deal because we kind of changed the face plan and we put it all into Notion, which is some kind of software to organize your stuff. So let's get into it. Production phase. So phase 1 is the production phase, which we basically already completed kind of. We made the server, we wrote a phase plan, we planned out, sectioned the map. So basically what you can see here, I will be going over this map as well. Yeah, so we sectioned out the map where we wanted everything to be built, kind of, and also what we wanted to include under the ground, above the ground in terms of blocks, so each realm would have their own identity. For example, Manicalia is known more as Dwarven Kingdom. They're not dwarves, but it's kind of similar in terms of their culture, so their grounds are really rich in terms of resources. So if you go mining there, that means like you're gonna find a lot of resources. We're also kind of adding things to counteract that. So in Underground you have mobs, you have special things that would make it a bit more difficult to just keep mining like normal. We made a complete draft document of the lore of each realm and also the lore around the world, you know, like world building and stuff. So let's get on to the second phase. So I'll be taking you firstly, before I begin, onto my computer. I'll just explain you kind of a little bit like what we did in terms of design for the map and how we went about it. We actually started designing the map in-game as well, like someone is doing it in World Painter. We are currently doing Lador, which I will show you. During this phase, we planned out what we would want to actually include within each realm, in terms of not only the fauna and flora, but also where we would build stuff. This is our latest version of the map. We also planned out like how we wanted to create the identity of each realm. And what I mean by that is just actually having what landscape or blocks we would like to have above ground and also underground. For example, here in Manicalia, we increased the ore spawns by 2.5%. For example, a siren, like they have ice lakes, which is their main source of like trade for Alicia because they can provide packed ice. This is like a loose sketch, but overall, in general, it's kind of final, so we know like where we want to be building each city, basically. I'm gonna spoil you a little bit in terms of where we are with the creation. At the moment, Lador is almost finished. We're working on one realm at a time, and we kind of want to include the process of us making each realm and like seeing on like how if we like how we want it to look actually. We want to include that within our Patreon. When I will be going over the funding plan, I will tell you more about this, but we want to include monthly updates around where we stand with building the map and maybe have you guys give us some input on like, wow, okay, this is nice, this is ugly, we want to have this changed, for example. So yeah, I'll be going back to the camera now and explaining the rest of the plan. We also did some server optimizations. I mean, I kind of did. I mean, server transfer actually. Currently working still on the optimizations. Transferred the server to a better SSD basically. And I'm working on the optimizations. When you make a server, a Minecraft server, you have these start.bot parameters. I'm not sure like what exact terminology about it is, but I'm just looking into optimizing those commands within the start parameters. If you don't understand what I mean, so basically when you make your server, yeah, you have to make a file and have to specify how much RAM you want to allocate to the server and what jar file you want to use. So basically you can add all the other commands in there. And I'm gonna test like what else can I use, like, and is it gonna impact the server's performance in a positive way? If not, I'm not gonna use it. So it's a bit for me to test like what are the best parameters that I can use, and also I'm gonna go over all the server property files and change some stuff in there for performance. And that's not the most important thing, but that's also what I'm gonna be doing within the next week. Then the funding plan, we're working on it. We're kind of designing the funding plan, and also like what our expenses are and will be in the future, and how we're going to get the funding for that. Currently, we are set out to make a Patreon. That's also what you saw in the intro that was requested. I'm not planning on doing that anymore. It was just kind of a meme, just like the intro of the first video. Just reference to like my old content when I was like a 12-year-old kid. I'll just go over what we'll provide on the Patreon basically. Monthly map updates, which I talked about in the map section of this video. So our goal is just to provide like map updates, show pictures, so in the in-game renders, maybe just us flying around, seeing how the map will look. Because we're also going to be looking for builders now. Once Lador is finished, we're going to get a map download. Yeah, we're going to find people to build basically what we went over in another file. I didn't talk about it, but what we actually want there, and then people are going to be able to build it. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment and we can figure stuff out from there. Next thing on the Patreon list is monthly Q&A. Then Discord role, you're going to be able to get a Discord role, obviously. Then a free store bundle, which will be cosmetic. We don't actually know exactly what we will give, but it's going to be cosmetic only. Then each in-game season, so because the first season is going to be a bit longer, it's a bit weird, but usually we're planning on at least having two seasons a year, maybe 3, and you will be getting an exclusive pet in that season. So if you subscribe during, I'm just gonna say 7 months for the first season, for example, alright, we will be able to get that pet. Once season 2 starts, that pet is gone. You cannot get it anymore. It's not obtainable in game. It's just only via Patreon, which is also cosmetic. So then early insight within the project and access to playtests. We will also be contacting the Patreons first for playtests. Loyalty badges, custom loyalty badges. These loyalty badges won't be coming before the rebrand. And then in-game titles. I don't know if you're familiar with Destiny, but in Destiny you have a title system where you complete a triumph, you get a title. This is the only payable titles you can get, so donated or by the ranks. The other titles will all be obtainable by doing in-game or seasonal challenges. Then the last thing is priority support. We want to have a support ticket system in our Discord, and you will just get priority support basically. Now something really cool, print on demand. So we want to work with a print on demand company. We have no company in mind. We want to provide t-shirts, copies of the map, digital and physical posters for the map, and then also once people actually have played a bit and there are like set towns and complete cities on each realm, we want to have like a map of each realm as well that would be able to be sold basically. Now is a real thing, like this is gonna make us unique. If you're familiar with Destiny, you know about the Bungie reward store. You complete the triumph, you get a title, then you can get a custom item. I've never seen any Minecraft server or any game do this besides Destiny. So you're actually like, you physically have something for completing the title. Yeah, that's basically it in terms of funding. Phase 3, the early access. Like I mentioned, we're gonna be rebranding our logo, just everything in general. Then the Discord server, we're just gonna set up a bare bones Discord server. But we actually wanna do most of the things in game. So of course the roles will have documentation because it's too much to actually include in the game. But overall, we want to do most of the explanation in game. We don't want people to have to read 50 million documents or watch 50 million YouTube videos. We want to tickle people in-game by doing tutorials, by directing them in the right direction with quests, for example, or with gameplay aspects. So they will be tickled, and then they're like, oh shit, I actually enjoy this. I want to know more about the lore, blah blah blah. I want to know more about these mechanics. And then people can just go watch YouTube, watch the Discord, and be like, ah, okay, this is how it works. Consist lore. Okay, we wrote down like a basic document about all of the lore. We wrote it out, but it's not really formatted well, so we have to reformat everything, create a seasonal plotline. We have some ideas, but it's not like set in stone, so we kind of have to set in stone a seasonal storyline before we can actually make the quests. Also, we want to make a wiki, so everything is well documented. And then also collections. If you're familiar with Destiny, once again, we are taking a lot of liberties from Destiny. So collections, what is a collection? So in game you kind of have like different types of armor set, armor and weapons and whatever, right? So the collection is like a kind of GUI that you open, and then you see all of the armor sets, all of the weapons that are available in game. And you can see, oh, I have these ones, I've obtained those ones, I've acquired them, or how can I acquire them? Okay, you need to go and do this quest, or you need to go and defeat this dungeon, or you can get it as a drop here, for example. So you kind of have information about it, and you can collect it. Then further on, we're gonna be looking around around that period for player application and realm leaders, because each realm needs kind of like their own king/leader. So gameplay features of this early access phase, we're gonna be doing crossplay with Bedrock. That's the plan. We'll actually see how that works. I've never played Bedrock, so I'm not sure like how actually that will work. It's a Java server, because otherwise the plugins won't work, but it might be compatible with Bedrock, but I'm not sure if it's gonna break. Din map, of course. MCMMO, so in this section we just want it to be playable. We're just gonna add the MCMMO plugin, basically something like that. Player rewards, yeah. Playtime rewards, weekly rewards, seasonal or monthly leaderboard rewards, and also something controversial, monetary rewards. We want to give back to the player base, so we want to give 10% of the server income to the players, and which means basically, let's say we make 1,000 euros, we give 100 euros to the community. But that will be divided in 30% for top leaderboard players and 70% for community build projects. Teleport scrolls, yeah, that kind of speaks for itself. Exclusive armor sets per realm. We also want to make a content plan for our socials. So that's basically it for this phase. So remember, never give up, and the only way to success is up. See you in the next video.